8 o'clock, kind of foggy still out there. Galen Unold is on the phone from LifeSouth Community Blood Center. Good morning, Galen. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Larry, Robin. How are you all?
Pretty good. Are you driving?
Yeah.
How's the fog on the road?
It's foggy. It's soupy. It's not super bad.
Really?
Visibility's about a few hundred yards, so it's not
Just be careful.
or anything.
Where are you, on 441 or the interstate?
No, interstate. 441, I'm sure, is worse.
You think? Oh, you mean as far as the fog goes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus you got that single lane circumstance still there by Payne's Prairie. Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
Just be
the prairie's always bad because it's so low and it just hangs right there.
Not a prairie anymore, is it?
Yeah.
It's not even a prairie. It looks like a lake.
Yeah, it's real pretty blue, the water.
A swamp, yeah, that's a better word, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a swamp. So.
Was there anything we want to tell Galen other than this? I guess not. Today's the 50th anniversary of Mr. Rogers'
we have seen
Neighborhood.
the LifeSouth bus.
We saw the LifeSouth bus? Where were we?
On Saturday night when we went to the Phillips Center. Had the 90th anniversary of the music department for the University of Florida, and they had over 400 students there performing, and the LifeSouth bus was there for donations.
Oh, great!
Yeah, and by the way, maybe that was the other thing I wanted to tell you.
I think it was there for the marathon that happened. Sunday.
How did it go?
Had a park there.
How did the marathon go?
Oh, it was great. It was really great. It was fantastic. So it was our 13th marathon and went off without a hitch.
I looked for you on the Channel 20 coverage. I didn't see you.
Yeah, Ricky, the race director, did it. So I was the MC in the background talking.
Ricky, the race director. That's a cool name.
That is a cool name.
Yeah.
So here's what I wanted to tell you before we get into the Mr. Rogers thing. The program I went to with Robin was for the music program at the school, at the university, and it was celebrating 90 years. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you had one song by this ensemble, one song by this ensemble. Well, when it was time for the marching band, the guys who do the halftime show at the football game,
yeah,
they blew this place away. They were so loud and big. They had the cheerleaders. There were trumpet players all around the theater, not just on the stage. They was
up
everywhere.
In the balcony, on the mezzanine.
Yeah, they were everywhere, Galen.
It was amazing.
They did that na go Gator thing. I was like, oh my gosh, that was really awesome. So,
yeah, they were fabulous.
I thought of you.
I
thought of you because I know you don't really care for you don't care for the the halftime show, but
and for the band and stuff.
You know what? It's literally there to waste time.
No, it's not.
Until the game gets back.
No, it's
not.
No,
it's not. People love them.
You get a chill when you hear that. There was definitely a team spirit, and I'm not even part of the team, but you definitely feel like, man, there's something. You want to be a Gator when you hear that music.
Yeah, they're great.
I have a trivia question for you, by the way.
Yeah, but you realize that emotion you get is because they're playing it during the football game. I mean, if you were to just do that like in a park and nobody had ever heard it before, didn't know anything about who the Gators were, you wouldn't get that same emotion. You get that emotion because you're associated with the Gators.
Oh, yeah, you're not going to get an argument from me. But let me compare it to something. The music in Rocky wouldn't have had that same effect if there wasn't a guy trying to fight for his right.
Of course.
Exactly.
So it is the.
I agree with that part.
So in other words, what you're saying and what I'm saying and what Robin's saying is it's not the music by itself; it's the marriage of the music to something else.
Well, the music complements the story or whatever's happening on the field.
Right.
But you can have the game. You can have the game without the music.
Yes.
But the music means so much more because of the game.
Right. You could have Star Wars without the music, and it would be a great story. But the music puts it over the top, and I think that's the same thing with the football game.
Oh yeah.
And there are people that go to football games to watch the halftime show, to watch the University of Florida Gator Marching Band with all the precision that they do and all the symbols that they make and all that. I mean, it's an art form.
Non-family members, you think?
Sure.
How many?
Sure,
now, I think there are family members that go there to watch the band. because their child plays there. But I'll bet you out of let's say there's 70,000 fans in there, I'll bet you there's less than 100 are there to see the band.
I don't think so.
Well, no, I don't disagree.
Outside of parents.
No, I think people go to a football game for the football game. I'm not denying that or arguing that. What I'm saying is that I think people at the football game have an overall more exciting experience because of the music part of it. Even though
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
It's like saying, the fish is good, but the tartar sauce makes it better.
That's right.
It's the same thing.
But I mean, it's part of the ambiance of football, because I mean, in the NFL they don't have marching bands, and it's
they did in the beginning
experience.
They did in the beginning, right?
No. Just the Baltimore Colts had them. That was it. And the Baltimore Colts band is still out there, and they're trying. But they're the only ones that had them.
Every game that they played, there was some high school band out there on the field.
Oh, okay, so that's different. I mean, that's a halftime show. What I'm talking about is a marching band for the team.
Well, anyway.
I mean, it's
the University of Florida marching band was the most exciting part of that presentation that we went to. It was a 90 minute long, whatever,
Sure.
2 hours.
They
long.
were absolutely
How
phenomenal.
many people do they have in that band? Like 100 pieces?
It was gigantic.
Like that?
It had to be.
No, my brother says that there are 265 members in the U of F marching band.
I believe
alone.
that.
Wow, that's awesome.
265 students.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Huge.
How's the blood supply today?
All right, let me ask this.
No.
If right now, if in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, if they said, hey, the marching band is playing, how many people would go and just watch the marching band play?
There's going to be a lot of people that go to see them. Yes, they will. Might
Well,
not
I
be
hear
80,000.
what Galen is saying.
Yeah.
I hear what Galen's saying. You're right. I mean, you're not going to have 83,000 people showing up just to hear the band.
No, but there is a marching band festival coming up at Westport High School. They hold it every year, and those bleachers are packed. And they're
you're
marching
defending-
bands from
That's
all over
because there's 12 schools represented, and there's
There's
two
more.
parents at least per kid. Right, exactly. That
Mr.
who's
Rogers.
there are parents.
Wow.
How many? No. My point is how many people are going to that festival that you just mentioned, the high school festival, who don't have a child playing in the band?
I don't know which one of you is the rock and which one of you is the hard place, but I'm stuck between you.
Okay, well, Mr. Rogers likes that. And there are people that like to go to see it that don't have
No,
any
I-
affiliation with the students there at all.
There are very, very few. Very, very few.
Okay.
Very, very few. I'm not saying that's bad. I mean, I think the band during the football game is great, but people are there to see the football game, not the band.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
I can hear your voice. You're caving in on
Oh,
purpose.
sure. Yeah, I mean,
I think.
everybody's
Oh
got
my
an opinion.
gosh, it's a
but
beautiful
Mr.
day.
Rogers liked the
Mr. Rogers,
bands.
he probably couldn't care less about. How's the blood supply today, Galen? How's your blood pressure right now, by the way?
I'm fine. I don't mind this. This doesn't bother me in any way, shape, or form. I'm not one of these people who gets upset with conversation or
Good.
anything like that. I think
Good.
that's how you find truth is through dialogue. And that's what we're having is a dialogue.
It is a
It's
dialogue.
not personal.
It is
why
a
would,
dialogue.
why would it be personal? There's nothing personal.
So I don't disagree with either one of you, but I do think that you're right. That 80.
But you have to disagree with one of us, or because we're on two sides of the argument. So we can't both be right.
So you're disagreeing that I don't disagree. That's interesting. All right. So
Right.
all right. Let me say what I have to say. Oh, go
You
ahead.
cannot have an opinion. Go ahead. You cannot have an opinion.
I have an opinion.
I know you do.
I say that 83,000 people will not show up just to hear a marching band. That's what I say.
No way.
But I also say
Honey,
that 83,000 people that show up for the football game will leave that football game feeling more excited about their team because of the music.
Exactly.
Now, they might be ticked off if the team loses. But I think they're probably all singing that da-da-da-da, go Gator thing. I think they are. And I think that's a part of the experience. I don't say it's the most important part. I think it's part of it, though. It's a powerful part of it. Just like the Star Wars music is a part of that's a powerful part of that movie.
Yeah, exactly. You got to have it.
Well, they could. What if they piped it in and just played like recorded music? Would it be the same effect?
No.
But it is in the NFL.
Oh, really? It's piped in. That's
They
great.
play music at
It is
the NFL.
at hockey games. Absolutely, they play music over the loudspeaker, over the PA.
Well,
system.
that's
Same thing with hockey, and yeah, I mean that's what it is. I mean, look at soccer fans, right? If you want to look at a fan that a fan base that is extremely passionate, they sing during the games. The fans actually sing the whole game. So, but I think winning or losing has a bigger impact on how people feel when they leave the game than anything else.
I think when the marching band does a concert, though, I think they should have an intermission, and during that halftime, we should have football players up on stage.
There you go.
There you go.
And you get more people to show up. You got like the star quarterback or the star running back or something to show up during the halftime of the music festival.
Yeah, no question. Yeah, that's it.
Was packed.
For
All
example,
the tickets were gone.
like during this Westport high school band festival,
Yes.
right? If during the
here we go.
halftime of that they had a 7-on-7 flag football showcase, you'd have 1,000 people come just to watch the 7-on-7 showcase.
Gosh. Yeah, you're probably right, Galen. You're probably right.
It's true.
How's the blood supply right now?
We're actually pretty good. Had a really good weekend. We were at the Greek Festival down in Bellevue this weekend. Great weekend there, and then the marathon we did really well. So just a good weekend overall, and we're doing well. We have a 5-day blood supply, but we need to keep that going before spring break gets here, and summer's right around the corner. Thank God, it's warm.
It is. It's nice.
It's a beautiful week this week, though.
It is, and it's a beautiful day. In our neighborhood.
It is a beautiful day in our neighborhood. Yes, it is. Yes,
We're adding on to this year's garden.
we're heading onto this year's garden. Oh, there's always two things happening. Here we go, Galen. Ready for some interesting facts about Mr. Rogers? Today's the 50th anniversary.
Absolutely.
The 50th anniversary of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood on PBS. Which here we go. Come on. This makes this show, Galen. This music.
Didn't he write the music?
He wrote the music. Come on. When does he start singing?
Not for a while.
What do you think is more important in the show, the music or his sweater?
Beautiful
Here we go.
day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine?
All right, so
I love him.
Tom Hanks is making a movie starring. He's going to be Mr. Rogers in the movie.
Right. I saw that. Yes. I think he'll be a great Mr. Rogers.
Did you ever see it's not considered a blooper, but have you ever seen Mr. Rogers give him the finger?
No.
No.
I always thought that was photoshopped. I saw a meme with it, and I'm like, I wonder if that was photoshopped.
No, it's not Photoshop. He was doing a song with the children,
okay.
and each one of the fingers, he does a song, and each one of the fingers has a name, like the thumb and the pointer.
And the pinky.
And
I
the middle
gotcha.
finger is tall man. He said, "Where is tall man?" And then you have to run away and hide and put your hands behind your back. So he says, "Where is tall man? Where is tall man? Here I am, here I am." And he pulls up his two middle fingers and he aims right at the camera. And he has no clue. Somebody must have pointed it out after him. You know what that means, Fred, don't you?
But guess what? Everybody who watched that show had no clue. The kids.
Well, you are probably right at that time, but right now that stuff is being played on Facebook, on YouTube and
Yeah.
Facebook. Yeah.
Of course.
All right,
What do you think the age group was for Mr. Rogers? This demographic.
maybe 4 years old.
Yeah, I would think.
Yeah, I think by the time you were like 7, you were too old for Mr. Rogers.
Right. Yeah.
Right in that sweet spot. I mean, it was
Yeah.
the greatest thing on TV.
All right, so anyway, 50 years ago it started, and I have some facts about Mr. Rogers I wanted to share with you. Before we do anything, let me tell you that Palm Garden of Ocala and Penn Flooring are the two sponsors that make Galen's daily announcement to remind us to donate blood and how the blood supply is doing and all of that. They make it possible. Without them, we couldn't do this, and nobody would ever know that Robin feels so strongly about this marching band.
I do.
They might, but
I'm sure we would know. He loves the band.
Palm Garden of Ocala, thank you for
She's a band mom. She's supposed to.
Thank you. She's a band sister, is what she is.
Yeah, but I've grown up with bands, so.
No, they were powerful, Galen. I think even you, if you had been in that theater, the Phillips Center, and when that band did their piece, you would have said, "Oh man, there it is. That's my music."
Yep.
I think you would have embraced it. Yeah.
Of course.
Anyway, Palm Garden, thank you.
Gone, but yeah, I get you.
You wouldn't have gone. Here we go. Do you want tickets to the ballet? By the way, we got them too.
Yeah, we do. Would you like them?
I want to do the Shinzu one. I want to go to that one.
Everybody wants that one.
Yeah,
Mind
we
the
don't have
ballet.
tickets for
I
that.
love the.
We got to ask Dan
I
if he
love
can
the
do a
art.
trade. Is that at the Phillips?
I already asked
Yeah.
him.
in
I already
March.
asked him, and he's
Yep.
like, "You can do it."
Oh, you can do it. Oh, good. Well, maybe he'll tell me I can do it. I'll do it.
Yeah, then you can do it.
I'll trade.
That'd be great.
Okay. All right. Many of Mr. Rogers' famous sweaters that he wore on the show were made by his mother. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Of course
Isn't that
they were.
something?
Okay.
Of course they were. That doesn't. I don't know if that helps him or hurts him.
The reason Mr. Rogers wore sneakers was because they made less noise when he walked behind the set.
Oh, I like that.
It was a very simple set, if you remember.
Sure, it was.
Yeah, but he would tie his shoes, and then the children could be inspired to learn to tie their own shoes by watching him.
There you go. Right. Mr. Rogers was an ordained Presbyterian minister. How about that?
Yes.
He had a Bachelor of Divinity degree.
Do that.
Mr. Rogers got into TV because the first time he saw a TV show, it had something horrible on it with people throwing pies at one another.
Oh, must have been
Super
Show of
Sales.
Shows, right?
Oh,
Soupy
oh,
Sales and Imogene Coca and all
Yeah,
those guys. Yeah.
He said, I thought there was some way of using
Lucille Ball.
this fabulous instrument of TV to be of nurture to those who want to watch and listen. Doesn't the word nurture just sound like it comes out of Mr. Rogers?
It does. It does. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Mr. Rogers was a vegetarian. He didn't smoke or
I
drink.
didn't know that.
He also stayed married to the same woman until he died.
Good for him.
Let's see.
Of course. Wouldn't you expect that? Right.
Yes, you would. There you go. Let's see. About the only even slightly scandalous thing Mr. Rogers seemed to do, which he revealed in an interview, was that he swam laps completely nude every morning.
See that? There you go. I didn't know that.
I didn't know
Mr.
that.
Rogers can do it. I can do
Oh,
it. so.
I wonder if when he was growing up, like as a little kid, you just swam naked.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
You know.
I wonder if he was singing a song as he was swimming. It's a beautiful day. I wonder if other people were singing it when they were watching him.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, come over here. There's Rogers over there. Look at him. Naked.
So what did he do? Did he
Fred,
do the
put some
back
clothes on.
Where's your sweater? All right. Let's see.
Sure, it's cold out here. Put that sweater on.
Contrary to rumors, Mr. Rogers was never a sniper.
Correct. Yeah.
He was
Wasn't a
never
Green
in the,
Beret.
in the army.
Wasn't in Vietnam. Yeah.
never
Mr.
sold.
Rogers never served in the military and was a pacifist. Unlike most children's shows, Mr. Rogers played himself, not just in name, but also in personality and mannerisms, changing nothing about how he acted off camera and how he acted on camera. If you saw him on TV, you knew him.
Nice. I like that.
There you go. And 895 episodes of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood were filmed, with the first episode broadcasting in 1968.
Gosh.
The last one was December of 2000.
Wow.
Mr. Rogers didn't mind if people recorded his show with a VCR, arguing for people's right to do so in 1979, when there was a case called Sony Corporation of America versus Universal City Studios. It was being argued by the opposition that this constituted a copyright infringement. Mr. Rogers was one of the few involved in TV that did not believe so.
Good for him.
You can copy my show. It's okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Spread it around. Mr. Rogers once appeared as a preacher, Reverend Thomas, on an episode of Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Oh, he did.
The episode
Wow.
was called Deal with the Devil.
Was he a bad guy?
I doubt it.
Oh,
He was
okay.
Reverend Thomas.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah. Can't be a bad guy.
Mr. Rogers did the voices for King Friday the 13th.
Oh, he did.
Yes, I knew that.
It was King Friday.
Yeah, I knew that.
He was also Queen Sarah Saturday, Henrietta Pussycat, Daniel Striped Tiger, Lady Elaine Fairchild, and Larry Horse.
So he must have recorded all those voices because he would stand there
He was
and
off
talk
camera.
to them
He was
and
off
have
camera.
a conversation.
Right, but he was off camera when they were talking.
Oh, okay.
The camera would go to the puppet.
Oh,
Hi,
okay.
Mr. Rogers. I'm King Henry the Friday the 13th.
Oh, okay. Wow, isn't that something? I thought the lady
Kind
with
of
the
how it
dark
sounded.
hair was. Oh.
Mr. Rogers once appeared on the Soviet Union children's show Spokojnoi Nochi, which means good night, little ones.
Oh,
He was the first foreign guest to be on that show.
I bet they loved him.
Mr. Rogers didn't just try to teach children important life lessons. He also produced a series of specials intended for parents called Mr. Rogers Talks to Parents About X, where X was whatever topic of the day was.
Gosh.
So if he was doing it today, he'd be talking about the shootings in the schools.
Yeah.
Mr. Rogers was red and green colorblind.
Oh,
Red and green colorblind.
did not know that.
Well, that explains everything.
What?
If I couldn't see red or green, I'd be a pacifist too. Galen, if you could only see blue, what else is left? Blue? Yellow? You'd be a pretty peaceful guy, wouldn't you? Did he go away?
I know, Galen.
Where am
Oh, there you are.
Oh, did
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, now I
Can
can.
you hear me?
Now
Yeah.
I can.
Now I can hear you.
Oh,
Galen?
that was weird. I just went completely off.
Yeah, well, you were
Can you hear
colorblind for
me?
a second. Yeah, could you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you think that he would really talk about the shootings?
No. Well, to the parents, yeah, on the show called Mr. Rogers Talks to Parents. Maybe he would have, yeah.
Oh,
No, you don't think so?
I think he would have talked about the shootings to the children.
If you listen,
I don't.
If you
I don't.
wait,
I don't.
well,
But-
if you listen to the testimony he gave before the Senate, he sort of refers to violence in that. He didn't specifically say one incident, but he did talk about violence. Yeah. And finally, Mr. Rogers died in 2003 on February 27th. He was 74 years old when he died.
Gosh.
Stomach cancer is what took him.
It's a
Gosh.
sad day. Sad day.
That was a sad day.
He lived such a good life and he died of cancer. And usually cancer, you know, you have anxiety and everything. And isn't that, I wonder if he had children.
I don't know. He was naked in the pool. He probably got out of the pool, and Mrs. Rogers probably said, you know, we could have some kids if you just stayed that way for a while.
You know, he was at peace. I mean, he was a minister. He walked with God. I'm sure he was at peace during his death.
Right. Absolutely. I think so.
Mr. Rogers talks about
Yeah.
pets.
Yeah.
So
there
I
you go.
guess he's got a complete sentence too.
Well, anyway. right. Even Mr. Rogers understood the importance
Yeah.
of branding, right?
That's right. That's right. I love him. He's so great. Look at how happy he is.
Yeah. All right, Galen, where's the Bloodmobile today?
Hey, Bloodmobile, we're at the Lions Club in McIntosh today, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, nice.
And
That's
then,
gonna be great.
Yeah. And then we're also at the Walmart out in the Shores.
All right. Well, enjoy your day. Next time you hear the
absolutely.
theme song to Mr. Rogers, think of Mr. Rogers. Or when you hear the theme song for the Gators, think of the importance of the marching band.
That's right.
I'm gonna ask some questions about that today.
There you go.
So
All right.
Be interesting.
Because
to
I'm
find
sure the
out
people who
answer.
get the answers from will definitely give you what you need.
yeah.
All right, Galen. Have a great day. Thank you.
Would you be mine?
All right, bye, y'all.
All right, we'll be right back.
You be mine. It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Would you be mine?
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Partly sunny and very warm with a high of 79 at the coast, 85 inland. Monday night will be mainly clear and warm, those 65 inland, 70 along the coast. Tuesday and Wednesday, unseasonably warm.